This is Senate Institutions on April 30th. I think I said the wrong date. Previously. April 30th, 2026, and we are discussing H550, and we have here on Zoom a witness, Elspeth Stiver, if I'm saying your name correctly, of the Women's Liberation Front, and you've sent us a document yesterday, I believe, and so we just wanted to hear your thoughts in this.
Sure, I'd be happy to. I am actually my name is Elspeth Stiver. I am a retired associate justice from the Supreme Judicial Court in Massachusetts. I've retired and I am now board president of the Women's Liberation Front, which is a secular, nonpartisan 503c corporation that is dedicated to the mission of protecting and preserving and advocating for girls and women. And we're here to oppose this bill. I did submit testimony, and I won't go through that testimony in detail with you because obviously you can certainly look at it and read it. But what I'm here about today is to just let you know, or to specify that where we have been with this. I'm also running a group of women, and they're lawyers, and they're former inmates, and they're women working in prisons. It's a working group of about 30 people, and we are dedicated to this task of trying to make sure that women can serve their time feeling safe. And what is happening across the country, whether it's in federal prison or state prison, is the women are not safe. And what happens is, I know it might be hard to believe, but one of the prison officers did admit that men often sometimes lie about their gender identity. And so we believe seriously that, and they do that to get into the women's facility. There's no obligation for these males to have undergone any medicalization procedure. 97% of males who identify as trans women do not have any surgery to their male genitalia, and everything's working quite well. And so we have pregnancies, we have rapes, we have trials going on against an inmate because he raped two women while he was in the women's center, and got one pregnant, and then was transferred to another women's prison. Sexual assaults there started, so they have finally transferred him out, and he is back in a male prison, but he is still pursuing his female identity. And so a rape trial will be beginning in California shortly, where the witnesses and the judge and the prosecutor, well, the judge has ordered everybody to obey the preferred pronouns of the inmate. And that will be very difficult for the women who are forced to testify, who have to testify against him. They're being called, they're the victims, but it's very difficult to call your rapist a woman. And in what we're finding is happening is that most of the women incarcerated have experienced abuse. About 86 to 87% have some kind of abuse at the hands of men. Many of them most of them, their crimes are related to the males in their lives. And it used to be that in the female estate, the women could actually build a therapeutic environment among themselves. That becomes completely destroyed when men are introduced, regardless of how they are saying they identify or how they identify. And so what happens is the women are living in a constant state of fear, of voyeurism, of being harassed, sexually harassed. Often when they report this, it is a report that is not taken. Right now, I am in contact, or trying to be in contact, with one woman in prison in Massachusetts who had complained about being assaulted by one of the males in there, and she was put immediately in segregation. I only can communicate with her when she is released from segregation and can have her communication privileges. but she does not want to go back into the female part of the prison where there are men. And it's difficult to blame her for that, but her mental health deteriorates because she's in a segregated unit, and is alone constantly. So what polls are showing, by the way, is that regardless of party, 70% of everyone, male, female, believe that women should, in fact, that prison should be separated by sex. It's not safe for women in those prisons right now. They're afraid to complain. They have a hard time getting their complaints heard. There are statistics that show that rape went down in the male prison after the PREA Act, but what it doesn't tell you is that rape increased in the female prison, because they're trying not to keep count of that, but that is from the male prisoners. And with the women, there are lawsuits right now in Maine, Massachusetts, New York, New Jersey, Texas, Alabama, California, Washington, Oregon, Illinois. This is state and federal. And there are also lawsuits going on that the ACLU has brought, trying to prevent the executive order from going into effect. And I would just like to, I won't testify long. I will let you ask me any questions you like. But when this was going on, when this was being pushed, Chase Strangio is an ACLU lawyer who led the way for the trans groups. And he was in a New Yorker article in 2022, and he said, we asked people in prison what they needed, and they all said they wanted a trans unit, Strangio said. But the lawyers in the working group, including Strangio, believed that the LGBT units were stigmatizing and would only perpetuate the prison system. So they advised that inmate housing should not be determined on the basis of sexuality or gender identity, not solely. And the Department of Justice accepted the recommendation, and a number of units were shut down. Strangio now regrets the outcome. He says, we acted as though the real stakeholders were the law professors. So I really implore you not to permit Vermont to become another space where we have to struggle to fight to get the women safe. And I am happy to answer any questions that you might have if I can. I've been in contact with a lot of women prisoners, and they're very afraid to talk. They're very afraid to make complaints. Nevertheless, as I told you, there are a lot of lawsuits going. So if I can help you in any way in understanding this or provide you with further information, I'm happy to do that.
Well, thank you, and thanks for the information that you sent. Does anybody have questions? Do you have any communication with folks in Vermont?
We have not yet, no.
Okay.
So we don't know what's happening. I don't know if nobody from my group has mentioned anything about Vermont yet.
Okay.
Okay. So I don't know.
Well, we'll be talking about this. We're probably going to take a little brief adjournment for a couple of minutes, but we're going to be talking about it again at 2:30. Okay. And I'm going to ask they did speak about it previously, the Department of Corrections, and I'll ask them to speak about it again.
Okay, I'm sorry. So you'd like me to remain for the 2:30? No,
you don't need. I'm just advising you. That's your option.
Thank you. And I have a prison. We have a one-page fact sheet. If you want me to send it to you, I can. It's
I think you sent us 4
pages.
We
did. We sent you lots of things. Yeah.
One page with
yeah. But yeah, we are in this every day, this issue. And so anytime you want to reach out, we're happy to help.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So since you mentioned the ACLU, we should probably invite them different perspectives.
The ACLU
to have a perspective
different
from that platform.
The ACLU, I'm sorry,
GLAD.
GLAD.
ULA.
Do I have?
I forget what the acronym stands for.
Okay. All right, so we are adjourned until 2:30.